we've got to restore faith in our system of justice. And it was eroded over the last 4 years under the Biden administration for all the reasons we know, and have recounted here many times. And it falls to us to make sure that people can believe. Lady Justice has a blindfold for a reason, right? That the symbol is that it's equal justice under law. It's chiseled into the marble above the Supreme Court's entrance when you walk in. We have to restore that. If you don't have the people's faith in the system of justice and fair judges, then you don't have anything in a republic. And
that's the truth right there. So again, I've also been someone who thinks Darryl Issa's bill, the No Rogue Ruling Act, is probably the best first step that would limit the scope and influence of these judges' rulings. It would also open up the doors to defund or move from the active bench some of these judges who are going to be major violators of things that, just seem so partisan. It's more Trump derangement syndrome and not equal justice for everyone under the law. Last clip I've got before we jump in with Virginia Congressman Ben Cline is, again, Speaker Johnson earlier today, which is Tuesday, talking about what's going on in the Democrat Party and his disappointment with his colleagues from the other side of the aisle, who, even in instances where there's nothing that a piece of legislation is going to do than benefit the American people, that's constituents of both parties and across the board, coast to coast, Democrats, including the leadership of Hakeem Jeffries in the House and Chuck Schumer in the Senate, just aren't with it. And that's, at the end of the day, a shame. Let's hear it.
I'll just make this point. I made it on TV over the weekend, and I want to say it again. The House and Senate Republicans are utilizing the budget reconciliation process primarily because Leader Schumer in the Senate, Leader Jeffries in the House, and their Democrat colleagues refuse to engage in anything, no matter how meritorious, even to improve the lives of their constituents, if it means that President Trump will somehow be credited with a win. I mean, it's really sad, but that's the fact. They'd rather put on performative stunts and host these activist town halls and all this other nonsense than just work with us to bring costs down and make communities safer for their constituents. Now, just think about how the American people feel about these issues.
And that's it. It's the big elephant or gorilla, or I guess donkey in the room right now. And like I said, I think the media at some point is going to get absolutely exhausted with the amount of things that President Trump is doing and accomplishing for the American people.